Hey Billy, another video on some content. Last time we talked about that great role that the bass plays in the middle of both melody and rhythm. We kind of keep the two balanced and together, and we can kind of go from each side a little bit more on melody, a little bit more on rhythm, and it's a neat little role that we have. And how this kind of works too, think of it like this: the right hand, the plucking hand, picking hand, whatever you want to call it, that does the rhythm, that attacks the string, while this hand is the melody hand. And this hand holds down the note, the pattern. It does not make the rhythm. It can, but we're talking about 90% of the time or more. It just holds the place of the note where the vibration happens between these, and this is the attacking. So we got melody here, and rhythm over here. Today I want to look at the major scale. You've probably heard about the major scale plenty of times. It's what our Western music is really based upon. So Western meaning Europe to anything west of that. Classical music, all of that. It stems, for now hundreds and hundreds of years. And you probably heard about the do re mi, it's a solfege it's called. And a famous song based on that was this, From the Sound of Music. And so many people tend to know that solfege really well. What we do in Western music is we have a thing called a movable do, meaning so we have do, re, mi, but now we can take that pattern and put it anywhere. So we still have do, re, mi, and we can move that pattern around. Whereas in some styles or cultures, parts of the world, they don't have what's called a movable do. Do is always fixed, meaning C, the note C is always do. We do that. We do it differently in America. Our do can be C, our do can be E. It's whatever key we want it to be, and it actually is quite helpful when we do it that way. Same with the numbering system that was spoken about before, the Nashville numbering system. Do is 1, re is 2, mi, and so on and so forth. It all goes right up the numbering system. And so we have, I'm going to be in the key of D, and we're going to stay right in this pattern. And it's so, if you remember, we count the string 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going in that direction. So we're going to start on, I'm going to be in 4th position. So fret 1, 2, 3, 4. Our first finger's on the 4th fret, and we always place it right before that fret. That's the best placement for it. And we're going to actually start with the 2nd finger, and that's our do. So this is the key of D, and it's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now there's many ways to play the major scale, meaning you could play this note over here and notes in different places. But we're going to stick to it so that's this pattern right here. Not that I want us to become pattern players, but it really helps you visualize, which is a great way to learn, visualizing things. So get that under your fingers really well. Play that, thousands of times, and work on your speed, your accuracy. Of course, we always talk about quantity versus quality, and I definitely would say go for quality. So make sure those notes are a good, solid sound, that you have that scale down really well, forward and backwards. Okay, now that we have that, we got that under our fingers really well, we really hopefully don't have to think about it. Let's throw a song in there. Well, and actually let me explain this concept too. Music, especially our Western music, our pop stuff, chords change, meaning guitar players and piano players hit a chord mostly on beat 1. So beat 1 is the strong beat. If you listen to tons of songs, artists, they'll tell you, and they'll say beat 1 is the most important. There's plenty of groups that have really mastered that and realized that. But in any case, beat 1 is a strong beat. That's the strongest of them all. The next one out of the 4 beats in our 4/4 timing, beat 3 is not as strong, but it's a strong beat as well. That tends to be the next beat that chords change. And then we have weak beats. Beat 2 is weak, and beat 4 is the weakest. And there's some neat things that we can do on those. And as a matter of fact, like I said, beat 1 is the most important. Beat 3 is fairly important, and then beats 2 and 4, not so much. So what I want to demonstrate is that as long as we hit beat 1, we're good. It doesn't really matter what happens on the other beats. Now, there's a song, Phil Wickham's song, This Is Amazing Grace, and I just want to use that progression. So real quick, let me explain the progression. It starts on a D, and you might argue with that, but I'm just doing it in the key of D. So D, and then it goes up to a G. Then I backtrack a little bit. D is Do, or the 1. G is Fa, or the 4. And then it goes up to B minor, a B, which is La, or the 6th degree, down to an A, which is the Sol, or the 5th degree. So D, G, B, A. And we've heard that in thousands of songs, thousands of pop tunes, rock, whatever it is. But I'm going to just go through that real quick. And, you know, the intro goes da-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, but we're doing it in this, starting with the verse, so it goes da-da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da-da. Now I was just hitting the root notes, so we have D, 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 then G, 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 B, 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 A, 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 back to G again, and then it starts over again. So that's the progression, but let's check this out. Just beat 1. And the chord change happens right there on B3. Then it goes again, and da-da-da-da. But what I want to show you is that as long as I hit beat 1, I can kind of do anything else on the other beats. So check this out. Da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da-da. A little mess up on that, but you get the idea. See, beat 1. I hit beat 1 most every time except for that one little spot. But the content, everything was there. Everything we needed for the song. And I stayed within that pattern of the major scale. Not always the most musical. Not every note was perfect based on string choice and stuff like that, because don't get me wrong, when I play a B minor, maybe for that song I play the B minor right here, the B right here, or even up here, so the other strings, the lower octave. But in this case I just want to show you that. So then you show up and you're like, yeah, I know the song and I know it in this key. But then they say, oh, but hold on, we have a different singer today, so let's put it in a different key. And this is what messes up people. But don't fret. Little pun there, don't fret. We're going to take that pattern, the movable Do, and put it in a different key. We played it, I've done it in D thousands of times, but then just a few weeks ago we did it in B flat. No problem. We just take this, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, which is in D. Now we're going to change it to B flat. And then, so now I'm moving my positioning to 5th position, but the B flat, the root note, the Do, is now on the low string, the low 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th string on the 6th fret. And now we got Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Do, Ti, La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Do. Now we could do the same thing here. And then we can just hit beat 1. I went a little bit outside the major scale, or still stayed, but not within an octave. But see how I'm staying right in this pattern? We don't have to move around too much. We get all the notes that we need right there without having to change position. Pretty easy. Try to fool around with that, have some fun with that. Again, that works with that song, but it works with every tune, as long as you hit beat 1. Thanks. Bye.